under 39 or over 39?
Thanks. Oh, man, that's about how long I've been graduated. It's 38 years, so thanks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, for sure, really. So when I have two sisters, there's all three of us. We all graduated from St. Boniface Hospital School of Nursing.
Oh, wow. That's
now,
so cool.
Yeah, yeah. So my oldest sister graduated in 1966, and my little sister graduated in 1984, and I was in 1981.
Oh, cool.
And, yeah, so as far as I know, they hadn't experienced anything weird that they had told me. I mean, they had a lot of fun and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We all lived in when we were in school, we lived in residence, and we had a great time. Right. A lot of people didn't like residence, but for us, coming where we were coming from, there was more freedom in residence than there was at home.
Oh, right.
So we were all there at one time or another, and we all graduated. So I'll start in September of 79. That's when I started nursing school. I was 19 years old. And so I'm in first year, and things are going fine, and you make lots of friends and whatever. And we all lived, the ones that I was getting into trouble with. For this one. We lived on the...
Birds of a feather, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, it was like... My sister and I said we could write a book about that residence, and said we should. Anyway,
I highly recommend you do that. You should.
There was about three of us that were from the third floor, and we were known as partiers. We were the bad bunch. And then there were some from the fifth floor who were nice girls from, small towns, whatever, blah, blah. Anyway, so we're staying in June of 1980. We had written finals and stuff like that for first year. And it was a weekend. It was Saturday. I could have gone home, but not much fun at my house. So I stayed. And there was, let's say, 5 of us alone in the residence. It was Saturday, late afternoon weekend. And we were bored. And we were drinking. Naturally. Yeah. So we had done all the cleaning that we could do, did all our laundry and all this stuff. And we had nothing to do. And someone says to us on the dare, why don't we try to get out on the roof?
Oh,
and I said,
fun.
Sure.
Oh,
really?
You're a rebel, you.
Anyway, and when I look back at the pictures of us, we just look like such little kids. But anyway, so I said, sure, let's go and find a way to get out on the roof. And I said, there's got to be something, some way out. And they all said, oh, I don't know. And I said, oh, come on. Now, the backstory to this is, at the time, my oldest sister was one of the coordinators at school. Oops. And I would have been in big crap if we had gotten out, right? I probably would have been thrown out of the school.
Oh, geez.
Anyway. It was tough. It was pretty tough.
Where was the dorm? Where was the nurse's residence? Sorry to interrupt.
The nurse's residence is on Cachet Avenue. It's right beside the hospital, and it has a statue of the Sacred Heart out front.
Oh, I took childbirth classes there. Yes, okay.
Oh, that's what they use it for.
Well, that was a while ago, though, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I know the building.
Okay. Yeah. So in that building, the first floor was classrooms, the second floor was classrooms and offices. The third floor, part of it was offices, and then from 3rd to 5 up was all residence rooms.
Oh,
okay. And those rooms had been open. Some of them were open since, I'd say, the early 40s. Okay. And some, the new wing, as they called it, was opened in the 1950s.
Oh.
Okay. So we had friends on all different wings, right? So we would just go around here, there, and everywhere. Mm-hmm. And so I said, there's got to be like a maintenance room or something, right? Oh, yeah. And they said, oh, yeah, okay, well, you show us the way. That's fine. Mm-hmm. So we walked around. We went up to the 5th floor. Mm-hmm. And there was a maintenance room or janitor's room, whatever, way up on the 5th floor on the old wing. And it was not locked, which is unusual. Yeah, kind of unusual. But then, like 40 years ago or so, I don't think they expected people to, I don't know, break in or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was, so it was full of junk, like old brooms, old chairs, and old furniture and crap from the residents.
Right.
So whatever. And then I said, there's got to be a way from here to the roof. So we turned. I just couldn't believe this. We turned to look to the left, and we saw a little staircase, a small staircase, 6 steps, like old wooden staircase. Yeah, to a door, which we thought, well, maybe that's the door to the roof.
Oh, God.
However, we looked above the door, and there was a large hand-painted black cross.
Oh.
Painted, that freaked us out.
Yeah.
It gave me a little pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hand-painted with, like, house paint. And it looked really hastily done, but it was old, like you could tell. And it was this big black cross right above a door. Now, we're in a Catholic school, and there's crucifixes everywhere.
Yeah.
But you don't frickin' think there's going to be one in the maintenance room going up to the...
No. And I'm not. I'm not very Christian. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm not religious, but come to think of it, most crosses are like notably white, not black.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not hand painted.
No.
Yeah. So we looked at that. I'm not religious either, but spiritual, you know, more like that. My mother's family, I think, was more religious, but not my own little family of origin. Anyway, so whatever, we looked at it, and I said, well, like, what do you think? We said, yeah, let's go. Sure. It was unlocked as well. Couldn't believe it. It was unlocked. Yeah. So we went up there, and we wedged it open with a block that was there, and I thought, well, somebody's used this before, right? So whatever, we get up there, and it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, nice hot day. So we got up there, we walked around, had a good look at the view of the park in front, across from the school, and then at the back of the school to the river and the nuns' garden and all that stuff. Had a wonderful good time. We brought our liquor up there and had a party. And then, we were in big shit. After that, we noticed that we could see into the 5th floor windows of the actual hospital.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yes. And if we could see them, they could see us. So we hightailed it back down the steps to the little room and closed the door to the roof and ran out of that little room and closed the door behind us. And we are home free because from that point we're back into the rooms, basically, right? And we didn't hear anything from anybody. Nobody said anything. But we tried it again the following week, and the door to the maintenance room was locked.
Oh, you were
Could have been so weird. Could have been a one-off. Maybe somebody just got, forgot the first time. And
no, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah. But the black cross, that really bothered us. Anyway, it was freaky. So prior to this, there was a door that opened from the 3rd floor onto a ledge outside the 3rd floor. It was about 8 by 10, this ledge. And this girl, Paula, was using it for sunbathing. However, she was outed by staff on the 3rd floor who saw her sunbathing, and they locked the door. So that's why we went up to the 5th.
Oh, God.
We're going to talk about the story of the nurse's helper, as we call it in labor and delivery. And this is a story that is widely known, but nobody really talks much about it because we know people would tell us we were nuts, right?
No, yeah.
So this happened in labor and delivery many years ago, I would say, in the early to mid-'80s. And there was a young lady from a northern community far away. She was having her first baby, and she was in labor for the first time. It was during the night, and it was a really, really busy night that night. And
this is in
they
St.
were
B,
really busy.
This is St. B?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, St. Bos's Hospital, labor and delivery. Yeah. And I worked not there, but I worked down the hall in the neonatal intensive care unit. And not that I would have been, at that point, involved with that particular case.
Right.
Later on I was involved. But I was looking after premature babies in there. So,
preemie baby.
Creamy.
So,
Because we have other nurses speak about things that happen in hospitals, too.
Yeah. So, this poor mom was alone for part of the beginning of her early labor, not for the transition or for delivery, but the early part of the labor when you need somebody there, right? Because her nurse had to scrub in for back-to-back sections. Anyway, her nurse came back. This is the person who came and told us. She came back and she apologized. She said, I'm really sorry for not being there at the beginning. She said, but I had to go and help out with these operations sections back to back, and I'm really sorry that you were alone for that time. And the mom looked at her and said, it's okay. And she said, what do you mean? She goes, well, another nurse came by and sat with me. And our friend said, really? And she said, because we knew. Which nurse was that? And we knew, and she knew that everyone was busy because we get the babies, right? We were getting all these babies delivered, plus the 2-section babies. And she said to her, who's that? Well, she didn't tell me your name. Well, what did she look like?
Right.
Thinking maybe that she thought at that time, oh, well, maybe the supervisor finally found a float and sent her up, right? And the float just came in and did her checks and stuff like that and was sitting with her. And she said, oh, it was an older lady in a black dress with a veil. Oh. And a nun.
Like
that doesn't,
right?
Nun. Yeah.
That's what I was
that
say.
was a nun.
Same
and I said to myself, holy shit, I couldn't believe it. But in the old days, nuns did wear that when they were nursing, and there were many, many gray nuns who were nurses.
Right.
I don't know if I'd want a nun when I'm having a baby. It'd be kind of, I don't know.
No. So there she was, and this person dressed in a nun's outfit sat beside her, and she's calm about it.
Wow.
I don't think she's calm. Well, she must have been in a lot of pain at that point.
And she probably needed somebody, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, it didn't matter.
Needed somebody. But so I thought, holy shit, it was one of the nursing sisters, or not.
Right.
But that's what I thought, and it freaked me out. So later on, when I had more experience, I was one of the nurses that they assign us different jobs, right? So one of the on each shift, there's always one who's called the neonatal nurse. And meaning that she attends all the high-risk deliveries with the doctors. And so one of our things is we have to stock in between each case room. We stock the stuff we need for the babies, and we make sure that all the recovery equipment is functioning.
Yep.
So it would always freak me out when I went into the back, especially when I was alone between the two delivery suites. There's four different rooms.
Okay.
Each in between each set. There's scrub sink and equipment that we check, but every time I would check, I would feel like I was being watched.
Really?
Yeah, and not just me, other people would feel that too.
Was this on, where was the delivery? Was this on the 5th floor? Where was the delivery at that time?
Third.
It was
third floor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, it was, as you come out of the visitor's elevator, go around the corner, and you go all the way to the right, and it was 3A West.
Okay, yeah.
Basically.
I've been there twice.
Yeah.
But,
you didn't encounter any nuns.
No. I remember being placed in one room, and I did remember feeling like I wasn't alone, though.
Oh, yeah.
Not for the good or the bad, just the St. B just kind of leaves a certain impression on you, I find, right? So.
Yeah, because it was the first hospital in the West at that time, and even though they have built many wings onto it, I mean, it still has that core feeling.
That's right.
So this is another story, and this occurred on the 3rd floor, which is now, that part is labor, delivery, recovery, and postpartum. So I don't know if you were on that floor, but this occurs before it was used for moms and babies.
Okay.